Well, let's get the most important thing out of the way first. Tali Ophira. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming and spending Valentine's Day with us. We know there's a lot of people who would want to pretend this day doesn't exist among those who get really excited.
We're here to support you with that if need be.
Yes, but you know what? Love is something that we all can't help but want in our lives, even if it's with ourselves or with, people. It doesn't have to be romantic. It comes in many forms.
We both have dachshunds.
Yes, who are waiting for us at home. And so tonight is going to be really special because you're going to leave here with your own Valentine, with a deeper understanding of yourself and what you may want and need from love, whether you're with someone now or in the future or whenever. So we have prepared some slides for you because we geek out like that, but let's get it rolling.
Okay. So just to introduce ourselves, well, Tali, you're the West Coast twins. I feel like you should start with that, sort of an apology. So
I'm here now. Yes, so I am the West Coast twin. I do love to make things by hand. I get a little crafty out there. I'm a karaoke and kitchen queen, an interior design enthusiast, and a mom to my baby dachshund, Lux. Yes.
And I'm the holding it down on the East Coast twin, mom to 2 girls and a senior sassy dachshund of 16. I'm the under-the-hood tinkerer with technologies. I'm the resident alien in our starship. And my confession is I let Tali buy my clothes, including what I'm wearing tonight. So it works out.
It was like, we're going to Farm Rio.
And boom, they had astrology dresses. Literally the first thing we found.
Yeah. So there you go.
Trust your twin.
Yeah, a little bit about us. We are Detroit natives, astrologers for ELLE Magazine, and Sagittarius, Scorpio moon, Capricorn rising. And so does anyone know, who here knows what a moon sign is?
Okay, you're not being graded, so don't worry.
Who here has no effing idea what a moon sign is? And that's totally fine. Great. Awesome. And who's excited to find out what a moon sign is tonight? Yes, woohoo! Well, you're not just going to find that out. You're going to find out your Mercury, Venus, and Mars as well, and we're going to go through that. So
just so you know what to expect and don't feel like we're going to read your souls in public, you can do that yourselves. You're going to learn Love Astrology 101 and have some tools to walk away with that you can use. Now, making a Valentine might seem like first grade, and it is a first grade activity, but we have found that, play is really healthy for us grown-ups, and one of the best ways to learn a new complex language like astrology is to get your hands in the clay. So that's why we're doing this Valentine. And you are going to discover how your birthday shapes your personal love story. We're going to talk a little bit about 2023's Venus cycles, and there is a Venus retrograde for those who know, so we'll talk about that. Hey. Little bit about the basics of astrology and compatibility, and then matching yourself into a supercouple. So that's, as you know, our new book, and we will be signing it afterwards for anyone who wants one. But you can use, if you don't have someone to supercouple with romantically, you can use anyone in your life for this. It really does work,
including your dog. I have done that.
Yes, we really are.
We're Virgo. I don't know.
So what's love got to do with astrology? Well, we like to say that relationships right now are in the middle of a giant iOS update, that rainbow wheel that spins on your computer or phone. So kind of humanity also is too. So a lot of the love advice we've gotten for years from our magazines and books just isn't really applying that well anymore. I don't know if it's post-pandemic or just where we're at. So We like to say that we've moved from the agrarian age, when people were hunters, gatherers, and had to settle and couple up for survival's sake, into the Aquarian age, where relationships are more of a choice, and like we say, moving from the three-dimensional universe to the 5D, for those who are woo-woo weirdos like I can be, so proudly. And so, and it's true. Everything used to be about, your body is here, my body's there, let's get into a relationship. Now people are falling in love and they've never even met in the flesh. So we definitely need some new rules and tools, maybe less rules, more tools for navigating the state of love today. So I was gonna read a little excerpt from Supercouple, because it seems like the kind of thing you do at the 92nd Street Y. You get to put on glasses and read from your book. It won't be long, but a little bit of art from our introduction. Let me get to it here. Okay. Okay. Yes. Help, twin, help. Okay. So picture this. It's an idyllic, cloudless afternoon on the California coast. High wedding season. The sun hovers above the placid Pacific as the last notes of Paco Bell's cannon waft into the briny air. You shift in your folding chair for a better view of your friends who are holding hands under a resplendent arch. I think that sounds like a lot of people's summer plans right now. The officiant clears her throat and begins. We are gathered here today to legalize the stressful, disappointing, and monotonous future of Hunter and Jamie, to recognize the death of their hope and the crushing reality that life will not live up to what they're dreaming it will. Hunter and Jamie, do you take each other as partners and co-pilots driving down this road together blindfolded, to blame and berate, to take for granted and neglect, to resent and regret, till disgust or divorce do you part? Outrageous as that sounds, so many modern relationships devolve into a version of this. When life inevitably serves us the tough stuff, we feel lost in the middle of a stormy ocean without a map or a clue. So we keep soldiering through, hoping it will get better, while the magic slowly dissipates. Here's the thing, you don't choose a partner to have an average or boring life. No way and no thanks. Your hopes are infinitely higher than that. You pair up to make magic, to achieve the couple goals that keep your connection alive as you face life together as a team. You do it to feel sexy and magnetic and happy for years to come, maybe even to become that enviable, inspiring duo that makes everyone wonder how your spark is still blazing after all these years. You want to beat the statistics, not become one. You want to be a supercouple. A supercouple is created when two people blend their energy and the alignments give them new superpowers that they didn't possess on their own. They don't become one or water down their personalities. Rather, a third entity forms. A supercouple is a thing unto itself, a fusion, a hybrid, something greater than the sum of its parts. As our friend Matthew says, it's when 1 + 1 = 3. Magic. Don't we all want more of that in our relationships? We started to notice this desire in our clients who would ask us to read their astrological charts, then with a sheepish tone and a slight pleading look in their eyes, wondered if we might just take a teensy peek at their partner's chart too. From there, the truth serum poured out, the embarrassing issue they couldn't get past, the fear of ending up with the wrong person, being unsure if they were settling or if they were expecting too much. The frustration of having the same argument again and again and again. We will get into more of the solution to that as we go tonight, but it gets much more hopeful after that. But that is honestly, astrology has given people permission to talk about the things in relationships that we sometimes don't even know how to articulate, don't have a vocabulary for, don't have a way of, it's not me, it's not them, it's just this dynamic that gets created by our charts and our signs. So we're hoping that tonight, as you make your Valentine and learn more about your chart, you will also find that permission, forgiveness for yourself, for whoever that person is that we know is in a thought bubble over your head on Valentine's Day possibly, or just a little more freedom to enjoy love as an action verb instead of a destination. So let's talk a little bit about 2023 briefly. Do you want to?
Sure. We have every year we look at where the planets are, and we kind of come up with an overarching theme. And last year was the year of the new abnormal because we came to the realization that life was not going to go back to normal again, and we all have been adjusting that iOS update. But this is the year of what if, and what if is a question that can go one of two ways. It can be used to enervate or innovate. So enervating, oh my God, what if, there's a lot of reason to spiral out. But what if can also pivot into an exploration of what's possible, what else might be out there. And, in a few weeks from now, Saturn, the planet of reality, is moving into Pisces, the sign of fantasy and imagination, for 3 years. So we're opening up this, and this is a 7-year in numerology, which is about merging the visible and the invisible. So, what is reality? We've been practicing this all year, and there's no better time than Valentine's Day because what if is a big question in love. What if I do this and I get hurt? What if? Well, what if it's worth it? What if I open my heart and I learned something about myself? So as we're going through tonight, we invite you to play with what if, and when you catch yourself getting anxious, just say, that's kind of a good signal, a good flag within yourself to turn it around and try something else on. It kind of works. We found astrology dresses at the first place we went shopping, so.
I definitely was, what if I don't find anything to wear? So.
And I was like, what if your twin sister will always find something to wear because she likes to shop? So, if I stand up 92nd Street Y, will I still be okay for the live stream? Because I think.
Why don't we switch?
Oh yeah, let's switch. Okay, we'll do a little do-si-do. Okay. So does anyone know who knows what an astrology chart is or has even heard that term before? Okay, thanks. And so some people have and some people have not. So you're going to learn a little astrolingo tonight. So what this actually is a snapshot of the sky at the moment that Beyonce was born. So
the one time the Earth stopped moving.
Right. So those science class diagrams of all the planets, doing their magic. Well, all those symbols inside the pizza slices represent where the planets were at Beyonce's moment of birth. Only difference is at the center of the astrology chart is Earth instead of the sun. So it's like she was with Tina and what's her dad's name? Matthew Knowles, and our Beyonce, and if she was looking up, this is what they would see. And as you can see on that outer ring, there are 12 slices, and each of those are the 12 astrological signs. Oh, my hair is stuck in my dress while I'm talking about it. Okay, so wherever the planet landed in one of those sections is the sign that planet takes on. So the sun, which is the circle with a little dot inside, was in the Virgo slice of the sky. And Ophira, will you help me get my hair out of my dress?
She might be able to shop, but
okay, thank you. And so everybody has one of these, and it's really unique. We're born 4 minutes apart, and we have a slightly different chart. So it's super unique to you. Now those little 12 outer 30-degree slices used to be represented by constellations. So NASA put out this big hullabaloo a few years ago and said, your sign has changed. Lies. At least in Western astrology, it hasn't. But the constellations were kind of like the geometric markers. This is the geeky description of it. So as you can see, the Mars was in Leo when Beyonce was born. You can kind of see how it lines up on the outside there. So we're going to invite you to take a minute to go and do your chart for free. So right there on the well, I figure out how to not hook my hair in this. Go to, you don't even need the go anymore. You can go to astrostyle.com/92ny, and there will be a link right there to do your birth chart for free. So you'll want to know what zodiac sign your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are in. We're going to work with those for your Valentine. Don't worry, we're here to help. If you don't know your birth time, it's okay for tonight. You may not know it, and some people don't. Just put in noon. Or if your mom said it's sometime between 1 and 2, just put in 1:30. Text your mothers, it's okay. No, it's fine. Sure. You are Beyonce.
When's the
Lois.
visual album
You
coming
are.
out?
Oh my God. Okay.
We've got Miley Cyrus. Let's have a concert.
Does anyone have any questions about how to plug this all in, or are you finding it? Okay, cool.
Questions are welcomed.
Are you okay? Oh, you got it. Yeah, all right.
You look
all right.
like you knew it's tattooed on my brain, yeah.
Yeah, ours is almost all in Scorpio, so yeah. Okay.
You want to put in your time, date, and place of birth.
Oh, go to the section that says "Do your birth chart" for free, right? Ophi?
Oh, yeah. Okay. There
should be your birth chart.
Do your birth chart.
Sorry, guys.
There are a few boxes with little buttons. One says "Do your birth chart." And we're starting with the sun anyway, which is your zodiac sign. So you can take your time.
You may be shocked and awed to see what signs are in there besides the one that you knew when you walked in. That happened to us. We're Sagittarius, and then we were like Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, and Scorpio. This changes everything.
Sudden career pivot of 180 degrees. Okay. Guys, need a couple more minutes to... Okay, cool.
And hello to our live stream friends. Thanks for coming from wherever you are. Normally we'd be in the chat, so just saying hello to you.
For those who have... Oh, hey, Hillary. For those who have done their charts, well, let's see a show of hands. How many fire signs are here tonight? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius? Okay.
Your sun.
Yeah, your
sun
zodiac sign, your
Yeah.
yeah. I know we just threw you your whole charts. How about earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Okay.
Oh, hey.
Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. And water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Looks like we're pretty evenly represented. Live streamers, drop it in the chat.
All right, we are going to start working on the Valentine, and you can keep going through your chart. But is this the clicker? You click.
Yeah, okay, the clicking.
So the planets we're going to be working with, and you can have that. You'll see there's a nice little reading interpretation of yourself in there, which is handy for this. So the planets closest to the sun, plus the sun and moon, are called the personal planets because they move so quickly. Their orbit around the sun, they move through the signs pretty fast. Mercury spends about 3 weeks in one, the moon 2.5 days, and so they really create very distinct energies in our day-to-day life. And so when it comes to love, they're the ones you want to look at, unless you're building a house together, then Saturn, but so the sun is the essence of who you are. When someone says, hey baby, what's your sign? They're asking what your sun sign is. But the moon is the secret sauce. So only the people who really know you will immediately be like, oh yeah, your moon sign is showing, because it really is, it's that inner self that you have to be really comfortable with people to share. Mercury, very handy for your thought processes, how you communicate. It's great for first date conversation. Venus, when you're like, okay, I really do want to get romantic here. I'm going to plan an actual date beyond coffee. Venus comes in handy. And then when you want to go home with them after coffee, Mars. We'll leave it at that right now. So, you want to do that?
Oh yeah. So, switch seats. Not that I don't know this by heart, but still. So we just talked about the 4 elements of the zodiac, but the 12 signs are handily divided up into 4 elements: fire, earth, air, and water, which helps when you're learning them too. And they all have different traits. So. Just to give you a little overview, the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, are creative initiators who need adventure and action. So if you have a planet in a fire sign that's not your sun, you'll feel it in that part of your life. We'll get into that as we make your Valentine. So the strength of fire is vibrant energy. It warms everything up. And the challenge is restlessness. It can burn it all down. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, builders who create lasting structures and traditions. The strength, stability, and longevity, but the challenge can be stagnation. So the beauty of the zodiac is it's equally divided pros and cons with every element or sign. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, are communicators who spread idea and seek novelty. The strength, great conversations, great ideas, but the challenge is that air signs can get scattered. And then water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, nurturers who are emotional, family-oriented. Strength is that the intimacy can run deep, but the challenge can be moodiness and insecurity. There are a lot more strengths and challenges for each, but that is a little overview. So let's make that Valentine. Oh, okay. So we have a phrase for each planet, and we're going to start. The sun is going to be, I love it when you admire my. And we're going to take you through your astrological chart with this. The moon, I love to feel. Mercury, I love to talk about. Venus, I swoon for. And Mars, let's spice things up by being ... So the sun, as Tali said, is the essence of who you are. It's the fuel that you burn. It's how you shine, what you radiate. And you can use your sun sign to understand what you want to be known for and admired for. The special way you shine, how to best share your light and be generous, how you get energized, and how you energize others. So this is, when you want to bring your best self, or you realize this is your best self, but the other person might have be from a different solar system, so a little dab of that will do ya, and you don't have to, be a solar flare that takes them out. The more you know. So we're going to start with the first part of your Valentine. I love it when you admire my. So it gave you some prompts. If these don't speak to you, you can get the idea of it and come up with your own. But if you have a fire sign sun, I love it when you admire doing a little Valentine Mad Libs. Some possible things: creativity, passion, colorful style, originality, playfulness, stamina, unique personality, and adventurous spirit. So fire signs, pick one of those that speaks to you and write it in your Valentine.
And if none of them do, we'll take some questions in a minute.
Yes,
But let's go
shout
through
something out.
Let's go
My
through
heat.
the earth signs, the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I love it when you admire my values, wisdom, impeccable taste, dependability, sensuality, planning powers, and resourcefulness. Sun in an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I love it when you admire my wit and humor, communication skills, novel ideas, versatility, genius, spontaneity, and charisma. Sun in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I love when you admire my depth, empathy, artistry, magnetism, thoughtfulness, affection, nurturing, and loyalty.
Flattering traits we picked for you. Did anybody not see one that resonated with them? Because we'll work with you. Got to fill out the Mad Lib.
Did anyone see one that they're like, hell yes, that's me, and they are brave enough to share? Okay, yes, I see you with the hat back there. Which one was it?
Don't be sorry.
Nice. Cancer?
Thank God she got that right. Our
You just
credibility
know
was on
after
the
a
line.
while. I don't know. Nice. All right. Does everyone have one? Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nurturing. Okay.
Pisces there, maybe? Scorpio.
Yeah, okay.
One for two. Yeah, Meryl.
Why am I not surprised? Yeah.
It's what we Sages live for. It's the only way. Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Thoughtfulness. Yeah. That's so very you.
Cancerian, yes. Very thoughtful.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Virgo.
Taurus. I know. We were thinking of the Taurus. Oh, nice.
They all have it, but yeah.
The earth signs do have impeccable taste. Yes. Humor. Nice. What's your sun sign? Leo. Oh, great. I see the hat. The chapeau is very Leo. Yes. Well, let's get into the moon sign. Let's go into
get under the
Let's get into
hood.
our feelings.
Pop
Are we
the
ready?
hood on your soul.
Oh, did you have a question? Yeah, sure. Rising sign. We did not put the rising sign on here because you need to know your time of birth when you were born. But every 2 hours, remember that outer wheel with the little. So imagine it going click, 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 click. So every 2 hours, a different sign is on the eastern horizon, which is 9 o'clock on that wheel, and that's your rising sign. So it's like the beginning of the chart. It's your outward front. It's kind of like. If your sun sign makes you blue, your rising sign makes you periwinkle or navy. It kind of tints your personality a little bit. You are who you are, but it's like a lens and a filter. Sure. You got it.
So the moon is your emotion. So we're going to use this. This is like often a game changer for people. How many people had a moment when they found their moon sign? Anybody else? Yes,
we did. Scorpio moon. No, we love the Scorpios, but as a Sagittarius, you're supposed to be all free spirited, and then you find out you're really jealous, and and it's true.
Obsessive.
It's true. Yeah.
And then you can channel it. So You can use your moon sign to understand your emotional temperament, best ways to nurture yourself, what feels like home, what makes you secure and valued, your sensitivity points, and your less obvious needs and desires. So this Valentine is not just for you to take home. Maybe you'll have it to share with someone so that they can understand, I've been telling you this forever, but if it took a moon sign for you to get it, fine.
Not a stage 5 clinger. I just have a Cancer moon. Some people like that, okay? Pisces moons, for example. Yeah. So now we're going to dive in a little deeper to so if you have your moon is in a fire sign, anyone have a fire sign moon? Aries, Leo, Sag? Yeah. Was that surprising to anyone or just like, oh, duh, kind of?
Your water moon.
So you love to feel lit up and excited, optimistic, captivating, energized, expansive, free, playful, and passionate. There's that passionate again. So do not bore a fire moon. When you go home, you got to have basically, you might lights, camera, action, If your moon is in an earth sign, anyone have a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn moon? Mm-hmm. Yeah, steady moons. You love to feel secure, valued, cherished, spoiled, helpful, certain, comfortable, known, and familial. It's very pick one. Anyone want to start knitting right now? It's very cozy. Moon in an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Where are our air moons here? Nice. So you love to feel light, uplifted, connected, inspired, heard, untethered, impactful, and balanced. Heavy emotions do not do well with the air moons. It's like, I'm out of here, It's like, or you really have to plan the time for that. Like, we need to talk words that an air moon only wants to hear if you want to talk about where we're going for Friday night, cocktails. So, moon in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, like us, yeah. I love to feel safe, nurtured, understood, bonded, intimate, needed, soulful, protected, and free-flowing. That's why we have dachshunds, yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that can sometimes your moon sign, you feel it much more. Yeah. Yep. That.
What are your sun and moon? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Those are very kind of a similar security loving energy for both of those. Yeah.
But the moon is the ruler of Cancer. So when it's in its, native terrain, you would feel it very strongly. So, yeah.
It does. It's more advanced, but for now, yeah, definitely.
Not tonight. No.
But it does matter.
That's
when the birth chart, the degrees matter. If another planet's at the same or similar degree, they're talking to each other. So it's an interesting thing. Yeah. No, too much. Yeah.
Yes.
No, go ahead, please.
It's how far along in its journey around the sun it was. So if it's 0 degrees, it just arrived in that piece of pizza in the sky. And if it's 29 degrees, it's at the end and about to move into the next sign. So, and yeah, we have lots of stuff on our website to learn about this. No.
Oh, it's okay.
Don't stop. This is an interactive workshop. Astrology brings up questions. Yes. Elizabeth. Oh, yeah, no. Would you like a refund?
Well, if your sun and moon are in the same sign, you wear your heart on your sleeve, your emotions are similar to your outward expression. And you were born on a new moon in that case. The new moon, yeah.
We hope it's Leo.
Pretty much.
It is, see? It always is, because Leos have to be extra.
Uh-huh. No,
I mean, you are the variety. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I know. Sometimes that happens. It happens. I don't know why. Just Leos. They're like, I like this. Give me more. I'll take another. So.
All right. Who wants to talk about communication style? Let's get on to Mercury.
Prepare to feel all the regret of your past Valentines surging up. I'm just kidding. So you can use Mercury, and Mercury is a very helpful planet. It is the communicator, so you can use it to show how you communicate or how you like to communicate, what piques your interest, your social style, your thought processes and judgments, how you use nonverbal signals like body language, and the words of affirmation that you'll want to hear. So this is such a helpful one, though, in relationships. It really is. Any relationship, work, etc., your Mercury sign and element, because they're so different.
Mercury is coffee date, professional chat, kind of, a little bit when you're not ready to completely bond, or when things get a little flat and you need to plan some fun. So
The DM.
who has Mercury in a fire sign? Aries, Leo, and Sag. Okay. All right. So for you love to talk about world events, passion projects, personal growth. Oh, that workshop you just took. Wild stories, fashion, past adventures, and visionary plans. Are you feeling yourselves in this? Yes.
Your Mercury sun is helpful for icebreakers and that kind of thing. To your question about why you might have a lot of planets together, sometimes they do travel close to the sun. So, so Mercury, Venus, your sun, Mercury, and Venus could very likely be in the same sign. And then
Mercury can only be one sign away from your sun sign, and Venus only 2 signs. So
So the odds of those inner planets.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all in the same sign of Leo. You have them all in Leo. Yeah. That happens a lot. So think about the sun is here, and Mercury is the first planet, right? So it travels pretty in close connection. So it can only be one sign away from where the sun is. And Venus is also the second closest to the sun. So it's just the way it works astronomically that it can only be within 60 degrees of the sun from our vantage point, which is 2 signs. So, yeah.
So those are likely to be likely to be similar for some people. So, yeah. Well, lucky you. You both got double, triple, quadruple Leo blessed.
Is anyone noticing anything revelatory about their Mercury?
It's true. Yeah.
Things, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You own
right.
a restaurant, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, our Cancer back there. Well, when you should start looking up everyone, discreetly get people's birthdays when you're, or just come right out and be like, I'm obsessed with astrology. And if they leave, then that's a great screening process, right? So, but you can look up people's Mercury signs who you're dating. I highly recommend that. Like, it can really make a difference. I married someone with Mercury in Pisces. I have Mercury in Scorpio, but we're both fire signs. And even though we really ignore each other well, and we like go to our corners, and it's like,
It's so satisfying.
come back. We have to neither one of us comes back quickly. So that's where the dog comes in.
There's a hack for every Mercury sign. So if you have Mercury in a fire sign, anyone here? You might like talking about world events, passion projects, personal growth, wild stories, fashion, past adventures, and visionary plans. Mercury in earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, may like talking about values, the arts, luxury experiences, family and friends, money, future security, and business. And in fact, actually, it would be helpful if you were on a date and someone started talking about those things and you started falling asleep in your coffee. You might say, oh, okay, Mercury in an earth sign? Oh, that's why they're asking me about my future plans. It's to order a latte. What are yours? Which brings us to Mercury in an air sign, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You like to talk about new ideas, quirky discoveries, people, music, travel, culture, social events, and upcoming plans. And Mercury in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, may like to talk about feelings, secrets, personal insights, creative ideas, childhood memories, heartwarming moments, and food. As a Mercury and water sign, it's not great for dating because I don't want to talk about anything except for your inner child and what it's feeling right now. So tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, and then we'll get to the rest of it. So,
All right.
Okay.
Who's ready for Venus and Mars, the love and sex planets? Let's get, why are
Ready
we
or
all
not,
really
here they
here
come.
tonight? Come on.
So Venus is your love language, and you can use your Venus sign to understand the keys to affection and keeping the romance alive, the right love language for your relationships, the colors, scents, and ambiance to evoke passion, how to dress, decorate, and furnish your home, your favorite gifts, and ideal ways to celebrate special occasions. This really does make dating a lot easier.
Right, so who is Venus in a fire sign? Aries, woohoo, sizzling. So you swoon for bold gestures, compliments, glamorous dates, passionate dialogue, physical touch, and flamboyant style. It's like the way they dress really does matter, you know? Who is Venus in an earth sign? Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn? Nice. So you swoon for luxury dates, but also common values. That's salt of the earth, success and status, definitely good grooming, acts of service, and thoughtful gifts. Venus in an air sign out there? Dynamic conversation, common interests, spontaneity, cultural activity dates, experimentalism, novelty, and surprise. That's what makes you swoon. And Venus in a water sign. Yes. Drowning over here. I swoon for affection, devotion, reliability, words of affirmation, artistry, a lovely home, and intimate gestures. So anyone who thinks that's needy should not date a Venus in a water sign. Anyone who thinks that's awesome should. Took me a long time to figure that screening out, but yeah.
Anyone seeing the power of doing someone's chart before you go on that date? Or even if you've been on 100 dates, it's helpful.
Would anyone care to share a revelation at all?
Venus
We
reveals.
love, you know.
Venus reveals.
It's okay if not. We're on Venus, but we're all aha moments welcome here. Yeah, sure. That's a sure. Well, you're a Sagittarius, so we don't like to choose or be limited in any way. It's like, where's the buffet, okay? So just be a Sag, you know? Take them all.
Bring it all.
Take them all. All right, let's get on to Mars and the last part of our Valentine. Yep.
So Mars is stops at the bedroom door. Depends which side you want to be on. And you can use your Mars sign to understand how to keep things sizzling in the bedroom, the erotic hot spots to explore as a couple, what triggers anger and frustration, where you'll be impatient or overreact, strategies maybe to break past your comfort zone, take a chance, be courageous, be bold, and ways to motivate yourself into action. So Venus is sort of the receptive goddess, and Mars is the warrior, proactive planet. So when you need a little boost or a little mojo here. So.
Yes. So Mars in a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. Hot, hot, hot. So let's spice things up by being flamboyant, spontaneous, daring, physical, bold, theatrical, exhibitionistic, assertive, and raw. Just a low bar there for Mars and fire signs, yeah. This is the Samantha Jones of the Mars set.
And on to Charlotte.
Mars in an Earth sign. Yeah, definitely Charlotte. Sorry, guys. She was great. She's great. Attentive, tactile, decadent, detail-oriented, sensual, enduring, and down and dirty. Those Mars and Earth signs. Don't call them boring, because they're not. Mars in an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, yes. So let's spice things up by being playful, vocal, teasing, experimental, surprising, edgy, active, and provocative. See you at the play parties. Yeah. Mars in a water sign. Yeah, same here, yeah. Let's spice things up by being creative, mysterious, private, emotionally attuned, generous, and intensely focused. If you're dating a Mars and a water sign, get them to a closet or, a small space fast.
Okay. Anyone dare to share?
Crickets. It's okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Woo. From your lips to St. Valentine's ears. Okay.
Crack that Cancer crab shell.
So there we have it. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. It actually is. It depends on kind of where you are in your life. At different parts of your life, different planets will. So if you're kind of in a dating time, probably it's like, oh, you're really interested in finding people who you have things in common with, then so those would really be active for you right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's nice when that happens, but it doesn't always work out that way, If you date someone who is also the same element of Venus and Mars, you may have similar desires and tastes and things, but that also can get very, predictable, too. So some of the best matches we've seen are ones that are so-called incompatible. We really do believe any two people can make it work. If you probably shouldn't pick someone based on their zodiac sign, and this is an astrologer talking. But when you fall for them and you then learn about them using this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be something in your charts that's quote unquote incompatible, or we like to call it a workaround. So, there may be a Mercury that's in a different element, air to water. So knowing this is how you actually navigate that. This is a cosmic care and feeding manual for relationships. So voila, you have your Valentine.
The astrological Valentine.
Do with it as you will. But
do you feel that this is helpful for maybe getting out, understanding the world, what you need, and yeah, cool.
Especially that awkward first conversation. Yeah.
I have a technical question, just how we're looking at the chart. So, it's starting from the outside, it will say the degree, and then the second number that's closer to the middle, what is that?
Those are minutes, so it gets very yeah. Well, if you have a planet like Pluto that's really far away from the sun, a minute can take weeks or months. So it's a measuring system that can get very exact.
It's kind of like the second hand on the clock. You can think of it like that. Did anyone else have a question at all before we super couple it up? All right.
Oh, but Venus.
Oh, right.
Venus report.
Before we get into more astro geekery, let's talk about the Venus report for 2023. Because Venus is always traveling through, keeps moving, spends about 3 weeks in every sign, 3 to 4 weeks. But every 18 months, Venus goes retrograde. Have you heard of Mercury retrograde? Yes. Well, all the planets from Venus, well, Mercury, Venus, and Mars out. The sun and moon don't go retrograde, but everyone else does. And a Venus retrograde is an interesting time. What happens is Venus shifts from being an evening star, so visible right around dusk, to a morning star rising right before dawn. So there's this period in the middle of this 6-week cycle where Venus actually disappears. And lots of crazy things tend to happen in love during that. We think of it as a time for putting old love stories to bed, which is baggage you might be dragging around, or, stories about yourself. I'm not lovable. I'll never find anyone for me. Or there's no. Actually, Venus retrograde is, we have a program called Romance Reset that we do every Venus retrograde, because it's actually a time to kind of do that inner work and then kind of rise again at dawn with a clean slate. So we have Venus retrograde this year. Lucky us, right in the middle of wedding season, July 22nd to September 3rd. Yeah, in Leo, which is the most romantic sign of all. That doesn't mean you have to cancel your wedding. It doesn't. But it might be a good excuse to not get another bridesmaid's dress if you got roped into 5 of those. But we do recommend that couples who get married during Venus retrograde renew their vows on their first anniversary.
Insurance, astrological insurance.
But it's a time, so now you can kind of, when you're crafting your 2023 love story, if there's a one that got away or someone that you kind of want to maybe reunite with, retrogrades bring us back to the past. So I would do it before that time happens, not during it, but they may just show up in your, WhatsApp thread telling you they moved to Berlin. Yeah. So it's been
Machine Gun Kelly resurface on Megan Fox Instagram in the summer.
Wait, did they break up?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
what?
She erased her where have you been? She deleted her
Making
Instagram.
slides.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry. True. Very true.
Yeah.
Good answer. She's the older twin by 4 minutes. Who's surprised? So anyway, back to your chart. In astrology, there are 2 types of relationship charts and 2 ways of looking at them. The more commonly known one is called synastry. It's comparison. You take their chart, your chart, you compare. Oh, they're a Gemini, I'm a Scorpio, we're this, we're good, we're bad, we're this. Or, their moon is Aries, my moon is Aquarius. And then you look at the angles that are formed between those 2 zodiac signs, and they have an energy that's either easy and flowing or sometimes challenging. And the easy way isn't always better. It can get boring. But it's very, very useful to compare and contrast. We have a book called How to Get Along with Anyone. Yes, even that person, that breaks down synastry. Highly recommend it. And then there's a second way that we love. It's lesser known and lesser used. It's called composite charts. It takes your chart and their chart and blends all the midpoints. It finds the average of every planet and creates a new, like we said, a third super chart where it's the zodiac sign in the chart of your relationship. So it's so handy because for the perfect example recently is Justin Bieber, who's a Pisces, not known for commitment, and his wife Haley, who's a Sagittarius, kind of a wild, independent sign. But together, they blend into a Capricorn sun, which is very serious. And like they married young, they're at church all the time, they're like going through all these heavy things, like helping each other through illnesses. I'm like, this is not what on their own a Sag and a Pisces are like, but together they've taken on this committed, long-term adult energy.
Not the Justin who got kicked out of Tulum for climbing the pyramid. No.
That was before he became a super couple with her. So the composite chart, really, it's like, I have an example of I dated a guy who was from the Middle East, and he overstayed his visa in the United States. I was 27, don't judge. And, so he had to leave New York, and we didn't know where we could meet. So we met in Paris, and he didn't speak French, and neither did I. So it was this neutral middle ground where it was like that was the best 4 days of our entire relationship, which didn't last much longer after that, but it was worth the attempt. But it was like, okay, we're not polarized by me being in his country or him being in mine. So your composite chart is sort of like that. It's this place where you can both meet in the middle. So we're going to do for our last part of the eve, finding your super couple sign.
So if you go back to that website that you had, sorry, we didn't put it on here.
No, we
Oh,
did.
yeah, it is. Okay, cool.
It's astrostyle.com/92y. You don't need the go dot. Both of them work because I'm the technology nerd. And so you can take your time, date, and place of birth and someone else's and put them into the calculator, the Supercouple chart maker, and then you can see what sign your relationship is. So pick an important person in your life, and
It can be a sibling, it can be a parent, a child.
you may not know that you likely don't know their birth time, but that's probably going to be okay for purposes of this. We're going to just look at the sun sign. Later on, you can try to extract that information from them. We're not getting involved. So go to, you see at the bottom, go.astrostyle.com/92y. There is
Do your super couple chart,
yeah,
right?
it says, yeah.
I think it's the second one down.
It says two become one under it, even though they kind of don't, but. What's great about this composite sign or chart is that all those things that you've been bickering about, arguing about, trying to become less of or more of or compromise on can kind of go away because it can be so jarringly different, the super couple sign, that you're like, oh, never thought about approaching it from that direction. Oh, well, if you're not finding it, you can also just go to supercouple.com and it'll say do a chart on there.
Yeah, you can go to that.
Yeah, we have a
tool there.
chart maker on there too. Or a friendly Capricorn can help, who's familiar with our website, can help you.
We'll give you guys another 30 seconds or so, but unless you need longer. Just put noon if you don't have the time.
Yeah, don't worry about the time for purposes of this.
All right, so just a little bit about what your super couple chart reveals. It's a personality that you'll take on when you're together. It can tell you how to keep your relationship thriving. It's really, especially the whole thing will do this, but the sun sign, which is what we're going to look at, will give you a lot of information about the purpose of your connection. Like, why are you together anyway? This is helpful to do with exes, I have to admit. It's a useful exercise if you're, not just so you can be like, burn, but so you can kind of see what that was there to teach you, whether you'll be playful or serious together, your shared priorities, and most importantly, how to find common ground even when you're out of sync. So
Have you ever noticed how you're one way with one person and then another with another? That's basically because of this, we think. So this is how it works. And who has an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius super couple sign with their person? Okay.
You're laughing over there. Is it shocking? You don't have to tell us.
So if you are an Aries super couple, like Capricorn, Kate, Middle, Duchess, Queen, Princess, whatever she is, Kate and Prince William, so he's a Cancer, she's a Capricorn. Two very traditional signs, but together they become an Aries, which is competitive, likes to be first. And novelty seekers. So Leo is royal romance. So a Leo super couple needs all that larger than life affection. Both J-Lo and Ben Affleck are Leos, so naturally they become a Leo super couple. And then Sagittarius are adventure mates. So Libra, John Lennon, and Aquarius, Yoko Ono became Sagittarians. They were very much, he became into all of the metaphysical and Eastern philosophy when they were together, which is very Sagittarian. So you can see that their whole relationship exuded Sagness. Yeah. Oh, you did? And what are you together? Air. Okay.
Are you forced to be reckoned with together? A little combative, a little fiery sometimes? Yeah. I don't know. Just telling the traits of Aries. Yeah.
That tracks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes it can be, a conflict-fueled relationship sometimes too. Luckily, we have a very thick book here called Supercouple to help you navigate that if you're interested.
The moon is really something, I'll tell you. The super couple moon, yep.
So any earth sign supercouples there?
Yep.
My two daughters, who are a Leo and a Libra, become a Virgo together, and my Leo daughter is the only one who can get my Libra daughter to eat vegetables and get onto a time schedule. She even told me, I started doing better in school because she told me to work on my grades. I'm like, you're hired, you're the new mom. We're a Scorpio together, so this isn't gonna work as well. So Taurus, sensual security. There's that nameless, shameless couple we mentioned before.
Sorry, I did the slides.
Yeah, they'll get back together. They're Tauruses. Virgo, the happy helpmates. So this is an interesting one because Prince Harry is a Virgo and Meghan is a Leo. So because they're one sign apart, so they've got to split the wishbone, and only one of their signs gets to win the super couple relay. So his one, they became a Virgo together, which also makes sense. The tell-all book, the endless stories, the tales of woe and the complaints. And then a Capricorn, as we said, the determined duo. There's Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber. Changed her name because, of course, they're a Capricorn super couple. And that's what you do when you become a traditional sign. Even though Baldwin is pretty much, he should have changed his.
Carries some weight. Yeah.
Yes. How about air super couples? Any of those out there? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So the Gemini, mirror, mirror, Gemini super couples will very much sort of become almost sibling-like. The Libra ones, that's Jay-Z and Beyonce, and you'll hear a story in Supercouple. We actually did a chart reading for Beyonce in 2003, right when she started dating Jay-Z, kind of secretly, and it was at the Billboard Music Awards. We somehow found ourselves backstage doing readings for celebrities. It was quite a while.
Worked it like a Sagittarius.
Yeah. And Beyonce came through, and because that's what she does. And so we did her chart, and then Tali was like, "So you want us to do one for you and that guy?" So she was like, "Yeah." She's a Scorpio moon. So we printed out the 60-page document for her. We had some software. I don't know if she actually waited for it too, go figure. But they were a Libra together. He's a Sagittarius, she's a Virgo. They became a Libra supercouple. And actually on supercouple.com, we have a little mini class you can take about the supercouple chart. And we go through their chart as well and all the planets. And they really do turn into this power
Libra,
couple.
a lot of celebrity like Will and Jada also have a lot of Libra planets in their super.
Libra's
chart.
a sign of marriage, so
Yeah.
Libra super couple is going to be like an Uber couple as well.
I actually stayed with someone longer than I should have because I did the composite chart and saw we were a Libra. So I was like, but we're meant to be together.
Do as we say, not as we
So
do.
sometimes it gets dicey. I'm just warning you,
Well, can't rush a Libra. Aquarius is friendly fire. So there's Kourtney Kardashian an Aries and Travis Barker a Scorpio. Not always a match that you hear recommended, but together they became an Aquarius, a sign of friendship. They were supposedly really good friends and video game mates or something for really long. Something very Aquarian, neighbors.
And she did start getting all goth and dystopian in her style, at least, which is very Aquarian too.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the heels? Well, I kind of like you better now. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yes. And then lastly, any water sign super couples there? Okay. So sweet, so sweet. Zendaya and Tom Holland, Cancer super couple. Kind of boring, but good for them. You want to be that. But Scorpio, we love this one. Barack Obama, Leo, Michelle Obama, Capricorn. Also not a couple that's recommended in the other type of astrology of comparing and contrasting Leo and Capricorn. Oh, heavens, no. But together they become a sexy Scorpio couple, so hell to the yes. And then Pisces, Brangelina, Escape, they're opposite signs. He's a Sag, she's a Gemini. They became a Pisces. That happened to me once too. Lots of we'll never know what happened on that airplane, let's just say. They may never even know, honestly. But, Pisces does rule addictions and, substances, and I think some were involved. So, well, we'll leave that to them and their super couple chart. So all the fun, you can do as many charts as you want and learn about super couple charts, take our classes. We have a couple of free classes on there. So we encourage you to visit, and we'll also be selling and signing copies of Supercouple outside. If you're a Kindle person, lucky day, it's 99 cents for its debut on Kindle today. And so go grab it there. Thanks to our sale, it became #1 in astrology and #2 in marriage, ahead of the 5 love languages.
But behind Jay
please help us
Shetty.
get to #1 so we can beat Jay Shetty. Kidding, not kidding. Just kidding. He's been on there long enough, okay? So, but no, really, thank you guys. And questions? Any questions, comments, cosmic concerns you'd like to share?
Yes.
For instance, I just said my son and I became an Aquarius couple. He's a Capricorn, I'm a Cancer. And you said,
Oh, and Aries, right? Aries, yeah.
Aries, sorry, and combative. But kind of what do you do with that information? I mean, because yes, I could have told you that
Right.
Well, you build around it. You're like, when we get together, there's going to be a lot of heat. This is fire, you know? You need to spread, you know, think about what you need air to fan the flames, you know? So maybe just some movement, move around, you know? Or maybe you need to build a hearth and contain, like, we are spending
Maybe you
15
avoid certain
minutes together.
topics that, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, what do you need to learn about conflict in your life? For example, sometimes, that person is a teacher for you, or you're a Cancer, so maybe you give excessively, and here you become an Aries, and you need to learn how to be a little less selfless, how to stand up for yourself, and sometimes once we learn that lesson, we can go to a higher octave of the energy. So it's going to take everything in my power not to fight with him, because our Aries dynamic makes us fight. But what are the other options? If I don't fight with him, maybe we do something active. Maybe we don't sit around, the family. Here you're a Cancer. Maybe you like to have a family dinner. But with an Aries, when you become an Aries with someone sitting around is the worst thing you can do. Then they start to pick at you, and you start to pick at them, and da-da-da-da. And so try new ways of interacting. That's what I would say if I was working with someone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're considering your entire chart, does your sun sign being on the cusp matter less? Or
Well, you're either one sign or the other, technically. But do you not know which one you are? 1 degree Gemini. You will be, ah,
Now you don't have to choose.
yeah. But you are a Gemini, probably a little more of a Taurus nature to you, like maybe more drawn to the arts and, home and all that. So, yeah.
We have that too, Sagittarius, Scorpio moon. It can be a little bit of a balancing act because they're such different energies.
Yeah. In the back.
do you have any advice for someone that's in a super couple that had to absorb into their partner's sign, like I'm a Leo and my boyfriend is Cancer and our super couple is Cancer?
Oh yeah, that is one of that wishbone break that Ophi mentioned. Those are ones where those types of super couple relationships, you really have to set some boundaries around, because you will get pulled into that person. More than anything, like it might feel really fun to go into their world at first, and then all of a sudden you hit that moment after like 5 months where you're like, wait, who am I? I'm losing myself. So you can kind of expect that moment to come, and maybe try not to a lot of resentment can come up when you realize that you've given your Leo light away to a Cancer and stayed home way too much.
What's also good is you can do your whole super couple chart and then try to find a planet that's maybe in a fire sign, or look at the Mars or one of, even the outer planets that we didn't cover, because you're sure to find something. And the book goes through each planet. There's another part of the book that we call the super couple seasons, because every decade of your life has a different set of planetary phenomenon that'll happen. And even the tightest couples will run into things like the early 40s astrological midlife crisis, for example.
Hit by a silver convertible. Still have.
So we write about that in the book too. So you're kind of cross-sectioning your chart with the timing as well. So it's a whole roadmap. But I'm sure you'll find one planet in there that will get you out of that ocean. So, yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah.
So you taught us basically 2 ways of relating to other people, which is one, comparing our signs, and 2, being taking a composite. So how do you recommend combining a mix of using both ways to build the best connections with people in our lives?
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
I think it's like what does Esther Perel say? The love rests on two pillars, togetherness and autonomy. So we need to feed both of those. The togetherness is the super couple, but you're always going to have to pull, if you get two in that, it becomes, you're going to need to go to your corners or you'll lose the magic.
Or honor your differences. I had a partner who had Mercury in Gemini, I have Mercury in Scorpio, and he wanted to make small talk with everyone and meet all the neighbors. And I was like, oh my God, no, please. It is not wine o'clock in my world. So out of knowing that, I was like, okay, you go hang out with them and chat, and I'll be hiding. So
yeah, it's important. And also, understanding who they are as a separate entity when they do pull away, which can be very painful in relationships when the person is like, I need space, or, that happens in the best of relationships. So understanding, that's when you want to look at the compare and contrast and understand their individual chart. Yeah. Therapy is on at 9. No, I know.
Anyone see something new that they want to share, or something that they think they might try after tonight? You'll inspire others by sharing.
Yeah. No, not at all. Sometimes it can get a little too familiar, where you're like, are you my sibling right now, or are you, it's like. So definitely, you have to resist the urge to do everything together, because it's almost so easy, or when the worst side comes out of both of you. What signs are you? That happens a lot. That's Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones. And they've been together, or they've worked through a lot. So, but yeah, it can take forever for that to get off the ground, because it's like, I can't decide. You can. Oh wait, now I want you, but I'm swinging the scale this way. So. It can happen like that, yeah. But it's really that's a nice combo, yeah. Mm-hmm.
For two people who are opposite signs on the zodiac wheel, say for Taurus and a Scorpio, whose super couple sign would be an element that is neither of theirs. Mm-hmm. Would maybe that be to their benefit?
I think so. Did you end up as a Leo or an Aquarius? Oh, okay. Yet.
Second date talk.
Is it feeling romantic and passionate, or friendly? More Aquarius. Okay. Yeah. Okay, of course you will. Because Tauruses are persistent. This is where it helps to know. So, and Scorpios don't like probing, so it also helps to know that. You'll get the info anyway. But I think it can be an adjustment, but it's also, sometimes it's nice, because Taurus can be really forceful and Scorpio can be really intense. And if you end up as an Aquarius, it can bring some lightness and let's get out of our heads and go do something in the world. So it might be, but it could also be let's go do something fun instead of analyzing our relationship that hasn't even started yet. I mean, analyze it privately for sure, but you know what I mean. So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We don't really believe
There is
in
no
that.
such thing.
Well, when you read, if you're 3 signs apart from someone, if in that wheel, it would make a right angle. It's called a square. So, some astrologers, well, there is going to be some tension there, you're going to butt heads. I mean, but that's Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're a square. But look at, it's okay, it inspired a visual album. Again, we don't know what happened with the lemonade, but they're still going strong, right? So, and then if you're 5 signs apart, it's an angle with a funny name, quincunx. And it's as weird as it sounds. But those are the people that sometimes you just cannot get over, or they're you start Googling twin flame the minute. And is that bad? Is it good? I don't, but they're always, like drawn to them inexplicably. Who's a good quincunx celebrity example?
Barack and Michelle.
Oh, that's true. Barack and Michelle. You know, in her book says he drove her kind of crazy some days, but you know, that yeah.
Lots of acceptance is the cure for incompatibility, I think. Yeah. Thousands of women would not think that was terrible.
Well, I don't know. Why do you run? Yeah. Well, an interesting question that you know, thing to reflect on is why am I attracting Scorpios? Maybe I dated a Scorpio who was, he really liked gin. And after the date started out great, but he would always be, I was like, do not walk into that cab, you know? But he was, you know, so I was like, he wrecked me. But what he did teach me, though, was he was very devoted, and he also got me obsessed with karaoke. He loved to sing. Scorpios are very creative. So I think the people, if you keep attracting a sign over and over, there may be your own inner Scorpio wants to emerge. So you don't have to date them, but don't run from Scorpio altogether. That's my advice on that, yeah. Be the Scorpion.
Open up a button or two.
All right, yeah, couple last. Yeah, that is one of the tenets of shamanic astrology, that the Venus shows like what you're attracted to in women and Mars shows what you're attracted to in men, because archetypally, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not a literal you know, like Mars in Pisces doesn't mean, oh, you must be a Pisces, but somebody who has Piscean traits, like being a dreamer, being creative, being super compassionate, might really get your engines revving. Yep. Fantasy, yes. We can take a couple more questions, and then we'll go do books. Yeah, back there.
Who's putting the guilt trip on who today?
Yeah. All right.
And one here.
It depends on how much romance you want. Like the composite Venus is great for when it's like, you know, I'm very attracted to you, and you know, I want to see. That's more the honeymoon phase of it when you're getting to know someone, like past the third or fourth date.
Yeah, I think
that's the energy of the relationship.
And the moon is really like if you want to have you know, in the book, if you look at the seasons, it'll help you decide too. But like if you're at the point where you're like, should I stay or should I go? Is this person the one for me? Could I build a life with them? Well, then maybe you want to look at the moon. Will I feel secure with them? Or the Mercury? How's our communication? But if you're having fun and flirting and, you know, just don't want to settle down anytime soon, Venus is good. So, yeah, you can use them as,
All right. Well, we'll probably go sign some books. And thank you guys for coming and spending Valentine's Day with us. It was great to do this. Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day. We do.
so much.
Raffle.
Oh,
we have a
yeah.
raffle. Sorry, before you go, who wants to win some prizes? Okay. We have dinner for two at Gotham Restaurant, 12 East 12th Street. It's awesome. Astro Trivia? How are we going to do this?
I don't know. How do we do this? First, okay, someone has to confess something that they learned in their Valentine tonight.
First one to do it gets an amazing dinner and wine.
Okay. Well, who are you bringing to Gotham with you? They better be bold.
Bold gesture. And you're going to
yeah, there you
invite
go.
someone. You're
Okay,
gonna make it.
cool.
Invite your dinner date. Okay. The next person is going to win a chart reading with us.
Okay. Lois. Okay.
Oh yeah, what was the question?
Oh, the question is, yeah.
You have to admit that when you saw your Mercury sign, you found something that you can improve in yourself, and tell us what it was. Your hand went up first in the back. Okay.
Okay.
Scorpio wins a reading. Okay. And when afterwards, you can meet us out at the table, and we'll get your info with our team.
Can you tell we have Mercury, Moon, Venus, and Mars in Scorpio? These questions we're asking, I feel like I'm like a slumber
the
party
bar.
playing Truth or Dare right now. Sorry, everyone.
The next one is a trio of Gotham chocolates and a signed copy of our book, Supercouple. And I think that one is going to go to someone online. Do we still have people online with us? The first person to write hashtag chocolate will get this one. So we'll grab them and make sure they get it. So, all right. Thank you, guys. We'll be out there with books, and
So much.
we're so glad you came.
Thank you, 90 Seconds Rewind. Bye, everyone
you.
online.